orange, this kind of thing. And she said, I want to have hair like yours. I said, well, you have to go brown. And she said, okay, I'll change the red to brown. Maybe purple. I said, no, brown's good. She's just so much fun and a delightful Christian. Oh, she's a delight. She's in church and she said, do you have a pen? I want to underline everything. 2 Corinthians chapter 1. Oh, do we do that? Do we get excited? Oh, it just hit my heart. And so I gave her the very thin flare. Mrs. Evans, remember the flares. She loved flare pens. And I had pens everywhere I went to because I was her assistant teacher. But I love that. And she said, I gave her my flare. Every sentence she underlined. Every sentence. And then she said, is this good? I said, it's real good. I said, would she like to have my pen? You would have thought I bought her a car. She starts crying in church. My husband thought I hit her or something like that. She said, what happened? I gave her a pen. Yeah, no, she's such a delight. She bought her son and her daughter 2 weeks ago, and Isaac got saved. Then last week, her daughter Alyssa got saved. And then a lady walking the door. I loved your teaching on because I want to be soul conscious all the time. And a lady walking in, I had just prayed that morning, God, let me be more conscious of people that have no one, they don't know anybody at church. And they walk in, and they walk out because no one paid attention to them. I don't want that. Our church is a good size. And so I said, Lord, I just want to look out for more people. And so this real tall girl, Maya was her name, she walked in. One of our teachers, Jeremy Snipes, Jeremy, he told me to tell the girls, welcome back. I'm supposed to tell you, welcome back, welcome back. That's what he said to Jojo. And he's a dear friend, and we teach together at college. And he walked in the door, Maya walked in the door. She walked to church, 18 years old, never been to our church, doesn't go to church, but she just moved to Hammond. I said, he said, can she sit with you? I said, absolutely, Maya, come on. So I joined the crew, 9 of us were coming in. And then at the invitation, her hand, she was right next to me. He asked if you don't know for sure you're going to heaven. I wasn't looking, but her hand hit mine, went up. And I got to win her to Christ. I don't know about you, but this is a wonderful life. And the more it happens, the more I think, am I getting closer to heaven? I wonder, because just more. God's let me clip coupons. Don't you want to clip some coupons? I want to clip coupons all the time. One thing that in clipping coupons is to have joy. I'm big about this, but I don't want to ever stop thinking about, Lord, I need your help to give me a 5-minute warning. Would you give, not like a warning if you're shooting or something, but just like, you're done. But it's the word joy. I don't know about you, but I see humor, you're going to see. I see humor in too much. I really do. I'm trying to find humor in what's happening right now. I told you I had a kidney disease. I'm trying to relate to you to understand how my spirit could be pulled and how you can quit. But about maybe a few days ago, no, it was a month ago, I had my shoulder replaced, the going shoulder, this one, and I'm scarred across here. It's a complete shoulder replacement. I have a rod going down my arm, a longer rod because of my age. I've got a titanium ball, I've got the screw in there, and it's still a little uncomfortable, but I'm doing great. I mean, I'm at 120, what do they call it? Not GPS, that's not what it's called. What's it called? Range of motion GPS. And I'm getting it back, but I'm just trying to get through it. Well, 1990, this is me. Whatever can happen, does. It's almost going to be my theme. Maybe on my tomb. Whatever can happen will. Because it does. And I'm not being negative. I'm being absolutely positive. And so I'm going in for a simple procedure. I had problems. I had some problems with my cycle. Not the bike. I'm talking about. At the end of a sentence you put a. It's a secret code at the college for the girls. My name is Jojo Moffitt. Period. Get it? So I was having some difficulty. And so I decided I probably should get this checked out. So I went to the doctor, she says, you're in trouble. You have to go in, we have a simple procedure. Remember those words, simple procedure. They're gonna take a little incision right where the Indian shot me. That's what my father told me. The navel is where the Indian shot me. I don't know why he told me that, but. And then lower a little incision. They're gonna put a lighted camera, like a tube, through there to see what's going on. Simple, right? They put me under. While I was under, not very deep, I had a tube or something. It was a breathing tube down my throat. I didn't know this. I couldn't open my eyes when I could hear them saying, the doctor's wife is the anesthesiologist, he's a surgeon. I heard him saying to her saying to him, because he's the anesthesiologist, we're losing her. Well, I'm her, And what happened is my ovary ruptured and I started hemorrhaging in my simple procedure. I couldn't talk, but I still remember doing this. Don't lose me. Don't lose me. I couldn't talk. Don't lose me. Please, don't lose me. Don't lose me. And then I was out again, but I felt warm and I felt the cut. Isn't that something? Those things kind of you remember, like a bad dream. After that, then I wake up and they said, now get on, if you're a nurse, be gentle, be kind. They had me on a slab. I thought I was going to the morgue. I was so uncomfortable. They had me on a silver slab. I'm on all fours, so she's saying, get on all fours. I wasn't on all fours. She asked me to get on all fours to move over onto the bed. I said, am I going home? Home, sweet home. That's where I thought I was going. And she said, just move, real firm. I said, I think they left all the tools in me. What's happened to me? They ended up doing a complete hysterectomy, bowel reconstruction, and bladder repair. Other than that, I was simple procedure. My son went to school the next day, and they thought I was coming home that day, and I'm not going home. My son was in chapels when Brother Jojo was one of the principals there, and he asked for prayer requests. Well, the day before that, they were gutting, is how we refer gutting in biology, animals, gutting, gutting, and that's how a boy talks. And so they said, does anybody have a prayer request? He said, Justin, what's up? He said, well, give me a prayer request. He goes, is my mom? They gutted her yesterday. They took everything. Can you imagine? When I went to church about 2 weeks later, I was a marvel to these kids. Things that happened. After that, simple procedure. I'm in the hospital 5 days. Everything that go wrong went wrong. My sister bought me this beautiful nightgown, and you know how you know those gowns, at the hospital gowns. I'm going to put it on because I'm going home today, and I'm connected to tubes, catheters, blood. I would get everything, And again, in a semi-intensive care ward, putting on my new gown, and I thought, oh no, where they started, where the Indian shot me, hemorrhaged. And now it's pumping blood out as fast, like that story about the little boy in Holland that put his finger in the dike and saved the country. That's an old story. I tried, it didn't work. I'm putting the dike, trying to stop the bleeding, and it's on my new nightgown. And I buzz in the nurse and understand all the tubes and all this stuff, and I think, ma'am, no one's answering. I get out of the bed. Hearing all this stuff. Ma'am. She came and she went, nurse, come on. Back to the bed. The next one I know, Dr. Schwartz comes in. He was delivering a baby, I guess. And he said, what? And he's a German Jew. He said, what happened to you? Well, my goal that whole trip was to get him to smile, because he would not smile. I do everything, talk to him. Hi, doctor, how's it going? Fine. It is fine. This guy's got to smile. So I'm holding the dike, the nail, and I'm holding that, and he said, what happened to you? I said, I told you I was a rare bird. He said, I'm beginning to believe it. And he takes this little stick, it was like a little stick. I still know, a cauterizer, like a little stick. And he said, I am going to stop the bleeding. I said, what are you doing with that stick? I'm going to put it where the Indian shot you, and we're going to stop the bleeding. I said, wait, I don't know why I came and started to touch it, bothers me still. Yours, you have one too. And so I thought, just a minute, let's pray. He said, okay. I said, dear Lord, if I live through this, I'm going to the Naval Academy. And I'm coming after Dr. Schwartz. My husband thinks, why do you have to think of this? And he starts laughing, and now the stick's moving. And I thought, that was very smart. All that to say, because of this, everything, they gave me such strong medications for pain, it caused the body, literally, to back up, and it pushed the bladder out to the bottom right now. But they called something, what is prolapse, number 2. So I'm scheduled for surgery a week from Tuesday. But this time, Are you ready? Humor. My surgeon, who just did, he did the 2 knees and the shoulder, he didn't do the other surgeries. He goes, Jojo, we're running out of body parts for you. You're the bionic woman. I said, I believe you. The new doctor that's now going to do this surgery a week from Tuesday, I've never been to him before. They tried devices that are supposed to be a temporary, of course it didn't work. 5 times they tried, it didn't work. A pessary or something like this if you're a nurse, and it didn't work. So now I'm going for surgery. I don't like surgery. Who likes surgery, right? And every time I have a kidney disease and it weakens the kidneys. My BUN is quite up right now, it shouldn't be. My platelets are up right now, and it's what they call high risk in all ways. But, are you ready? The doctor, before I knew all this, the doctor says to me, after the 5 attempts, he said, we are going to be doing something. I said, are you using mesh again? This is like a sling to pull the bladder up. And he says, oh no, we're doing something newer. Oh no. What? We're using cadaver tissue. And does anybody know what I'm talking about? I'm not making this up. I'm running out of body parts, they told me. Now dead people are going in my body. I'm thinking, I said, well, I know who it is. And my husband says, why did you say that? I think you know. I don't know. They make it like a piece of leather and fix. And I'm not making this stuff up. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It makes a sling inside of me. I'm going through this. Isn't this special? A week from Tuesday, I think. On the way to the airport, I get a phone call from the surgeon's scheduling secretary. She said, I'm waiting for this. Your EKG is abnormal. I said, oh, please, don't tell me, because already the kidney's abnormal. I started antibiotics the night before last, very strong, and I can only take certain kinds because of the disease. I started that. She said, you have an atrial enlargement. I didn't know what the atrial is, but it's like a valve or something in the heart. Is that right? I don't even know. Well, the heart is up here, sorry. And it's enlarged, and my platelets are abnormal. I said, I'm abnormal. I don't want to be normal. Normal's boring. This lady just met me. She said, you are a trip. You really are a trip. You find fun in everything. So if you can think to pray that I'll do okay. I see the cardiologist. To get into a cardiologist fast is pretty unusual. When I see him Wednesday at 1:30 to see if I am a candidate. And with the heart now, something new. And then go to the surgeon 2 days later to see if he thinks I'm a candidate. Well, I want to tell him I'm not a candidate. Could just, something you could just put me to sleep and it'll be okay. But anyway, so my life is unusual, but I am so glad. I have not lost my joy. Have you? And I don't want anything to take away my joy. Loretta, I love what you're taught. I love your tongue. He's with me. He's with me no matter what. He's with me. I said, Lord, in 1990, when they discovered the kidney disease, I said, Lord, not 1990, I'm so sorry, 1970, when they discovered the kidney disease, medullary sponge kidneys, it's usually in one, I have no. My kidneys are turning to stone. If you see my function, see the x-rays, it looks like someone took a shotgun and just blew it into the kidneys and shattered it. I have over 100 kidney stones right now, but I can't change it. I can't change it. He can, if he chooses to, but he will not take away my joy. What are you going through right now? I'm just sharing life. Sometimes I say the comment, I don't want to miss what I'm going through for all this. Don't let me miss what I'm to learn from all this, Lord. Please don't let me miss this. Please don't change my spirit. This happened about the cardiology as I'm about 2 minutes from being dropped off at the airport by myself. I was by myself I get there early, and you're thinking a lot, and I just kept saying, Lord, let me take this out, take it out of my mind. I can't change it. Lord, help me to help someone right now. Brother Hiles used to say something. He was my pastor in my early days, 1965, when I came to First Baptist. He was like a father, always appropriate to me and everything. He was like a father duck to me in a sense that he just guided me and helped me, and I'm so appreciative of it. He helped me to know how to look at things. And one thing he said, I'm still learning, I'm not all there by a long shot, but you are how many of you ever attended Hiles Anderson College? How many of you ever heard Brother Hiles? Okay, the teachings, unbelievable, a man that influenced my life. I was Roman Catholic for 19 years, very Roman Catholic. I was going to be a nun. I surrendered to be a nun in 8th grade. I mean, I went 8 years to Sacred Heart. I went to Catholic things. I was president of the CYO, the Catholic Youth Organization. I was very involved. My brother's a graduate of Notre Dame. I'm not going to go into all the time-wise, but my family are very Catholic to this day. Knowing I saved for almost 40 years. In the last few years, 80 of my family members and Catholic friends have trusted Christ. Don't give up on anybody. 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 But I thought in 8th grade, I went to like a convocation day, St. Thomas More School, which I live right near there. 2nd floor, the end room. I still remember it. All the different orders of the Catholic Church, the Sisters of Providence, the Sisters of the Holy Cross, Holy Mary, you know, all the different orders. If you've been raised Catholic, you know what I'm saying. The monks, the Capuchins, I said Sisters of Providence, that's who I went under. That's where my education was. And I went to church every day of my life. My dad was that way. My dad died with one of the highest degrees, Grand Knight, the Faithful Navigators, who when he was buried in the regalia with the plume hat and the sword. I mean, that's my background, all my background. And I'm grateful for it, by the way. And I'm grateful for my family, especially those that trusted Christ. So I came home all excited. I said, Dad, I know what I'm going to do with my life now. And he's probably saying, oh, because he thought I was a character. Not that I'm not, yeah, but he said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to be a nun. Jojo, really? I said, I'm going to be a nun. Well, what order? They're orders, like what's like Sisters of Providence. I said, I'm going to be a cloister. You're laughing. Were you raised Catholic? Yes, because I'm saying you're right with me. Right with me. I'm very versed in the Catholic Church. Very versed. The cloisters don't talk. They pray all the time. I thought that was noble. I thought that was a very noble profession. So I told my dad, I'm going to be a cloister. He looked at me. Jojo, a cloister? I said, yes. I'm going to do it. He said, you never shut up. You're going to get in the door, they're going to send you home. And I said, well, what should I be? And he said, two things I think for you. You love to serve, you love to help people. A teacher or a nurse. That's what he saw from my life. He said, nurses is great, but you have to realize too, nursing, you'll be on shifts, at that time there wasn't this home health care and all this, but he said, you'll be on shifts, you'll be gone a lot. You'll be on sometimes 8 hours or maybe 12 hours. You'll work when your kids are there. A teacher, you'll be with your children when they're off for the summer. He said, I see you as a teacher. Well, I've been teaching now at Hiles Anderson College as of February, 50 years. I taught in State College for 2 years. I don't know if I am a teacher. I had many of you in classes with Mrs. Evans or myself. When she passed on and went to heaven, and I always keep that picture of her with me. She's my mentor. She's a lady that influenced me, who believed in me when no one else did. And she let me see joy. And I mean, Mrs. Evans, she was a trip. I mean, you have to understand, I don't like to fly. My first flight, we had an emergency, skidded off the runway, and then we were landing in New York. They couldn't get the wheels down. Other than that, there was no trauma at all to it. It wasn't the first flight. I was 16 years old. My sister was a stewardess, flew me free to go to New York for the holiday. I don't like, so in the first flight, Carol Tudor was Carol Fry. She was on one side of me. It was like they were guarding me so I wouldn't leave, I guess. And Mrs. Evans was on the aisle. Carol was by the window. They put me in the middle. And I did not want to go on this flight at all. And you get antsy, like right now, I'm having a hard time sitting. So if I'm moving a lot, please forgive me when I'm a little uncomfortable. So I keep moving right now, to get positioned. And I was doing that, just, Mrs. Evans said, Jojo, I'm going to take a nap. Could you just sit still a little bit? Could you read or something? Yes, ma'am. And then I heard, it was her birthday. I thought, if I could get to the pilot, and he could maybe have us all sing to her. She was sleeping, so I stepped over her, went to the door, opened the cockpit door. This is before they locked it. And I just talked to them like we were friends. I said, my boss, Marlene Evans, it's her birthday. He said, oh, the federal aviation rules, we can't do that. I said, it means so much to me. It really would mean so much if you could do it. He said, Dr. Marlene Evans? I said, yes, she does have a doctor's degree. Dr. Marlena Evans was a soapbox opera star, and he thought that's who it was. I came back to my seat, climbed back over her, sat down, and folks, so right now we're flying at, 8,000, 10,000 feet, 30,000, they don't go that far. But anyway, and so if you look out to the left, you look out to the right, but we have a special day today. We have a birthday. I woke her and Carol up. I said, listen, a birthday on the plane. And Dr. Marlena Evans, the soapbox Oxford star. and I stood up and pointed to her so everybody would know who she was. She brought back a bottle of champagne. We do not drink, you know what I mean? And I thought, she said, Jojo, you get me in more trouble. I was just trying to bring a little life to her life, you know. And then we had to dump it. We don't know what to do with it. You know, I'm not keeping this. So we threw it. And Carol said, what should we do with it? She said, throw it away. You're not keeping it, you know. We had more fun than people. But anyway, all I want to share with this, Nehemiah 8:10, I just want to share some thoughts. For the joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. It's just a portion of that verse, Nehemiah 8:10. But I thought, thank you for helping me. I love music. I love props. If you know me at all, I've dressed up. Rosemary was trying to tell the ladies of the church, I have been Snow White. I had my 7 dwarfs. I mean, I've done everything imaginable. I've been Cinderella. I have been Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz at our church. And my son was the Tin Man, and Joy, our daughter, had me the dog. My poor children. She was Jojo, and I had all these outfits, and people would give them to me because they knew I did it, you know. But I think a prop. I teach speech in Southampton College, and we have 2 girls there, in fact, that just came this semester. I have a note, not from the new girls, because I haven't met them yet, but I am going to meet them because their sister, and where are those 2 mothers? Are they here in the kitchen? Where are the 2 mothers? Okay, and where's the other mama? She's in the kitchen to write a note, and I'm going to take it back, and I'm going to find your daughters. I mean, not to hurt them or anything like that. I'm going to befriend them, okay? I might buy them a squishmallow or something like that, okay? But one of our students now, our present students, sent this, and it's to her mom, Mrs. Trisanne Layama. Is she here? Is she here? Is she here? Should I keep and give it to her tomorrow? Okay, then don't tell her. It's a secret. Raise your right hand. I promise. But your hands aren't all up. All hands up. All hands up. I will not tell her she has a note. Okay, so I don't know her. You don't have to repeat that. But I brought that back. This is called airmail. I saved a stamp. You know, and whatever. But I just wrote down a few things, and I have just a few minutes left. But I'm going to have to just talk about have joy. I love that. Rejoice is your choice. 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 Spread joy. Spread joy. Spread joy. And I have this little thing. I love happy faces. I just love happy faces. I love happy faces. They're selling things. And by the way, if you want to help some, the girls are selling bracelets and this type of thing. My daughter's name is Joy. So I never win. So when I win, the first thing I saw for Christmas is joy. I'm taking that to her. My granddaughter her birthday, half birthday is Sunday, and she's graduating from kindergarten, homeschooling by my daughter, so we're having a party for her. And I'm getting her a bracelet with a happy face, because I like a happy face, she likes a happy face. She's a special granddaughter. Our daughter has had 6 miscarriages. She's never had a live birth until in vitro, went to Cancun, implanted frozen embryos, I got pregnant with twins, lost one, and we have 1 little grandson, Kodiak. This little precious girl here, she's my little buddy. I love Aurora. She's going to be 6. She just turned 6, I'm sorry. She has a brother too, a live birth. By the way, a doctor friend of ours, a lady gynecologist from California, gave my daughter supplements that my daughter was able to nurse a baby that she did not deliver. In her first birth, their 6-year-old, who was having a birthday. Then 8 months ago, Joy, not 8 months ago, over a year ago, she was implanted with 2 embryos, and she just delivered 2 live births, twins. And they were born, one was born on January 6th at 11:25, and everything stopped. 2 hours later, the next day, she delivers the 2nd twin. But that just kind of fits in with our life. Twins that were born on different days. One was 5.5 pounds, one was 7.5 pounds. Oh, the joy those kids have brought our lives. Oh, the joy. So her birthday is 6, so I got her a bracelet with a happy face on it, plus Squishmallow. I get my kids Squishmallows. But the joys. Let's sing it. I have the joy. Do you know that song? Do you know it? If not, fake it. Just look like you're doing it. I would say fake it till you make it, okay? Hands up. I'm a bus captain, so we sing, all right? Those of you that were in House Anderson, you know this song. Can you go lower? Can you go? Okay. I become a bass, okay? Tuesday.